E aí pessoal, sobre trazer mais um vídeo. Hoje iremos reagir a Arthur Cervero, Abutre from m4rkim. I understand that Arthur is actually one of the most popular characters within the series. I understand why though. Unlike the other characters, Arthur isn't afraid to show emotion. He is sensitive and he just wants to help others. In a world that is full of darkness and despair, I think it's always good to have someone who is sensitive and who isn't afraid to show the real emotions. So I'm very excited. I think Arthur is a really amazing character. So let's get into it.
Escute todas as músicas do Drop a ordem de forma cronológica para melhor experiência. Link da playlist na descrição.
Você sabia que o seu pesadelo pode ser real? Eu não sabia até aquele dia onde conheci o paranormal. Já de show, então vamos arrumar esse bar. Caldeiros, assim vocês podem nos chamar. O que é essa aberração? Porque meu amigo está morto no chão. Porque o ar tá tão sinistro? Porque eu só posso ser mesmo. Essa criatura nunca tinha visto. Então me explique, dê o seu jeito. Isso tudo era só um conde. Na minha frente o meu pai pode galos e promete. Minha cicatriz são maiores do que a que vem minha fome. Nessa floresta ser eu sacrificar. Por favor, não deixe eu ser o inútil com o braço arrancar. Jogo só, saudades nos resta. Você devia estar aqui pra me jogar essa moeda. Mas eu tô aqui. Então eu vou lutar por ela. Eu não posso deixar ninguém brotar. Como um abutre que sempre está voando. É que eu não quero ver ninguém mais. Por isso que eu não tenho os olhos sempre abertos. Sem não me ver, ainda estou de pé. Saiba que enquanto eu tô, o sol ainda vai continuar. Arthur Cervero.
That is already a great introduction to Arthur's character. I especially love the line of, "My scars are bigger than what you see on my face." Because obviously Arthur has physical wounds, he has the scars, he lost his arm. But that's not only the issues that he's having. He is full of trauma. His life is filled with dead people. His family unfortunately passed away due to an accident. The members of his band died, and he is the only person who is alive. So I love how m4rkim is able to talk about what makes Arthur such an amazing character. You can hear the loyalty. You can see it. I love the way he's describing all these emotions, and I think this just makes Arthur such a likable character. He's just a loyal person who wants to fight for his friends, and even though he's the only one who's alive, he wants to stay alive so he can live for his family and friends that he has lost. So I really love this. I love what m4rkim's doing right now. It's a mixture of rock, but there's so much love and sadness that's in it. So really beautiful from m4rkim.
Arthur Cervero, após perder quase tudo, a ordem ele se juntou pra conseguir proteger pelo menos aquilo que restou. Elizabeth, acabei de te ter de volta, porque na minha frente está morta. E eu só posso sentir essa dor. Pare, por favor. Joey, bate o buguê.
I read the Wikipedia page right before reacting to this. Even just reading about Elizabeth's death, just reading about it made me emotional. The way that it all happened, the fact that Arthur couldn't do anything, all he could do was plead for them to stop. Hearing it and seeing some of the scenes, this only makes this part way more emotional. And I love what M4rkim is doing with his voice. I love the amount of emotion he's putting into it. So, it's really emotional, and I'm trying not to be too emotional because I don't know these characters as much. But the fact that I don't know these characters and I'm still feeling emotional, this just shows how amazing the series is.
Eu só posso sentir essa dor. Pare, por favor. Joey, bate o buguê. Eu vou sem o geyser, mas não te entendo. Prometo que eu vou buscar você. Cortos pensamentos estão pendurados. Calça vai e jamais será perdoado. Ritual de ódio. Eu cansei de ser fã. Não aguento mais toda essa dor. Eu não aguento mais do seu amor.
And one thing I really love about Arthur's character is just how understanding he is. When Joey has to leave in order to protect everyone else, a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people refuse to let Joey leave. However, even though Arthur is hurt by this because they made a promise together, Arthur understands about the sacrifices that everyone needs to make. So I really love that about Arthur's character, because it is hard to find friends who can understand your decisions. Even if your decisions aren't what they want, a true friend understands the sacrifices that are needed in order to make that decision. So this makes Arthur such an amazing character, as well as just an amazing friend that I hope that we all have in our life. And secondly, I think I understand why everyone loves Arthur so much. Arthur is someone who we could all relate to. We all have moments in our life where we feel powerless, where we feel like we can't do anything. Arthur was someone like that. Arthur was emotional. He lost an arm, and he was just a civilian before this. However, we love Arthur and we want to be Arthur because even though he has those flaws, he is still someone who tries to do something. And it inspires us to do something. We all should try to do stuff even though we may seem powerless. Arthur is such an amazing character. I could see why everyone loves this guy. This guy's amazing.
Confio, liderança, equipe abutre em direção retalhar. Joey, como é bom te ver, o Abutre quer jogar. Gal na nossa frente, é a chance de vingar todos aqueles que foram. Eu voto pro Gal morrer. Joey, ele pode ajudar. Eu não consigo esquecer. Tem um inimigo muito mais forte. forte do que a nossa gente. Porra, tu foi com essa espada, matou a Liz na nossa frente. Sinto muito Joey, mas nós precisamos dele, então eu vou apertar o botão. Não, cê não vai, sim, Joey, eu vou. Então sai da frente do seu capitão. Capitão de bosta, não vem com os amigos. Olha que desliza, aquele foi embora. Se não tivesse rido, que você podia tá vivo. Então sai da minha frente, agora. A guerra não parece só calamidade. Indo em direção ao coliseu, então corre a tu pra que não seja tarde. Sinto que algo ruim aconteceu. Porque o Joey tá no chão, porque tem sangue em sua mão. Seu desgraçado, você matou meu irmão. Porque tinha que partir.
This song is absolutely amazing. Usually, if you listen to all these songs in order, you can see where the stories merge. However, I love that this song includes a direct conversation between two characters. These two characters are amazing because they both love each other. They both want to protect one another. And you can see where these conflicts emerge. You have someone who is guided by emotion versus someone who is trying to think logically and trying to figure out what's best for everyone. And the unfortunate thing is, this is technically their last conversation before Joey dies. And I love that conversation because it just shows you way more personality, and it shows more of these characters and who they actually are. So that is amazing for m4rkim to include that, because I feel like it is a crucial thing to include.
Tinha que partir assim. Partiu e eu nem estava aqui. E até na morte cê sorria. Me diz, consegue ver a Liz? Eu vou te matar! Então eu vou lutar por ela, amor. Eu não posso deixar ninguém pra trás. Como um abutre que sei que está voando. É que eu não quero perder ninguém mais. Por isso que eu não tenho os olhos sempre abertos. Vocês vão me ver, ainda estou de pé. Saiba que enquanto eu toco, o sol ainda vai continuar.
There's not much I can't say about Arthur. I love Arthur's song. I love Arthur as a character. m4rkim is probably one of the best artists for a character like this. m4rkim is someone who has power, but can also provide so much emotion. I love when you get to hear those sadder and more quiet moments. m4rkim's voice changes, and then when it gets to these more powerful moments with anger, m4rkim is able to change his voice again, and he's able to maintain that power while still being able to balance the sad and the despair in his voice. So this is by far I'm hesitant to say it because I literally just said Taka had the best song from the series, but after listening to this, I don't know. Every song from the series has so many things I love about it. So it's hard for me to say which one's my favorite, but this one is so unique because there's so much more happening and it's just incredible. So maybe my favorite, I don't know. I'll have to listen to the other songs in order to get my final opinion. But regardless, though, this was a fantastic song for an amazing character. And I can understand why everyone loves Arthur. We all love Arthur. So, in the comment section down below, just tell me that you love Arthur. Arthur is an amazing character. This man has been through so much. I think he needs a little bit of love. But thank you all so much for watching, y'all. And I hope I get to see y'all in my next Ordem Paranormal reaction. Until then, hope cloud voice is steered. Simply ordinary. Howdy.